Hello everyone, and welcome to something quite different, as today we're going to be taking a look at Europa Universalis 5. Paradox has been kind enough to sponsor me to take a look at this game, and let me tell you, it is quite something. Now, unlike many other creators in the space, I understand that a lot of them have played hundreds upon hundreds of hours. Unfortunately, I can only claim to have played a measly 80, 90 hours? I don't think that's even close to a tutorial. And so instead of doing a tutorial, I thought I might just take a look around, start as a small Formable Nation, and try and explore some of the early mechanics and kind of get a feel for the game. At least I'll be approaching it a bit more like how the average player might, other than having 1k hours and expertise at the start. For those who might not know, I actually do have quite a lot of hours on EU4 already. My main nations to play as were predominantly England. I really liked playing little countries inside of the HRE. I enjoyed a few games as Italy, and my side nation I really enjoyed was playing the native indigenous Americans, although there seems to be far less in this version of the game. Because of that then, I think I'll turn to something familiar. Now usually I did enjoy playing Mecklenburg and trying to unite the coast here, but considering Pomerania might not be available, maybe we can go even further in and take a look at Holstein. Are you more of a Holstein Plon enjoyer or a Holstein Rendberg enjoyer? I guess I'm going Rendsburg. For those who might be new to the series, let's start off with knowing something really important. A lot of the things you might encounter in this game can actually be automated so that you can focus on learning other aspects. Later on, you might not want to focus on this, but at the early start it's pretty good. For example, I'm probably going to start out by automating the balance and trade. It's not something I'm focusing on right at the start. Additionally, it can be a little tricky to see my country's colours. One sec, let's change over. Okay, there we go. We can more clearly see we own 4 different locations. I can't promise anything, but much like Hoi 4 and other games, this game does have formable nations. And at tier 2, we can form Holstein. We just need to own 6 more locations. Because of that then, we should probably prioritise who our enemies are going to be. Maybe Saxe-Lauenburg could be the first one. Research at the start of the game, it doesn't seem to be too much of a choice, it's just one thing. But as we progress down, we'll unlock more and more, and as the ages continue, we unlock different tech trees. So yeah, I guess it starts off simple, but gets more complicated as we move along. I do remember that when I was playing EU4, there were definitely cabinet ministers that you had to hire, although I don't necessarily remember them having specific tasks they had to do. This feels a lot more like CK3 in that regard. Okay, next up we need to do our crown reforms. Haven't even hit on pause yet, but that's fine, that's fine. I guess we can have the nobility like us. Seems fine. I suppose in some ways it's not too dissimilar to playing a game like Hoi 4, where you just need to work your way through the notifications at the top, and once you've cleared them all, you can finally hit unpause. After hitting unpause, it seems like the world quickly takes shape. Hamburg has decided they hate us. What did we ever even do to Hamburg? The 100 Years' War. I've really just started. Okay, I was considering playing England for my first game, but I figured that's what everyone else has done, and I already did play as them and managed to conquer much of the French coast, so I didn't want to do it all over again, and I thought nobody is going to be playing here. Not one human living is playing here. Holstein-Rendsburg, casually next to Harry Potter. Offering an alliance to Lundberg. Okay. Let's hope this one doesn't stab me in the back. I don't think I need them to go after Holstein, so it should be good, right? So it seems that control is pretty important to being able to tax as much of your land as possible. I guess similar to control in CK3, except in CK3 control is really static, relevant to wherever it is, while in EU5 it flows from the capital region outwards, meaning we're probably going to want to build roads so that control can flow to our most outer reaching zone. Of course, I'm not exactly rich, so building a road might not be the most economically prudent thing to do. Land tag is possible. Okay, this seems to be the estate missions you could get back in EU4. What's interesting though is when we pick a mission, for example host army exercises, we can also trade off the support or the percentage chance that the thing that you've chosen will pass in exchange for bonuses, including a casus belli. I mean, can I get a casus belli on my neighbour, the other Holstein? We gained approved claims on their land for 4 years. Well, maybe we can. Then trade in some aristocratic support. Okay, and that should maybe pass. Meanwhile, in Lauenburg, we also might be able to start creating a casus belli against our rival. Okay, there is maybe a bit too much going on now. I've got so many circles on my screen. Where do I click? It seems that in a one-on-one, we are slightly weaker than our neighbouring Holstein, but we are on our way to maybe securing the help of Lüneburg by currying some favours with them. There's something both enjoyable and terrifying about coming to a new game and knowing you are so deeply not adept at anything. Okay, the Landtag agrees. We gain 10 army tradition, which should help us when it comes to the incoming conflict, which we have the casus belli for. Maybe if we go in faster than them, we might be able to take them down. No guarantees, but it might work out that way. Okay, raise all our men. Head into Kiel as fast as you can before they can raise all their units. Okay, they were only able to raise 400 men because I was able to rush my soldiers in faster onto 2 of their main provinces, or locations I guess. The hope then is we can really utilise this to siege things down before they can even manage to get proper units out. Okay, they're going in for the conflict, we can go. Boof. Devastation. Okay, we stick the 1k back over here to make sure they can't raise the units. They're probably going to try and raise something, but 0 men. Completely blocked. Okay, that's Kiel done, and we move on to the next place. It's only 1341, so we shouldn't expect something too cray-cray. Oh, and we also got our humiliate. Oh, and we also got a son. Okay, everything's happening. So once we're done with this conflict, we need to consider going in after Lauenburg. We don't seem to be doing too bad on war exhaustion, so I'm not really worried. Okay, it looks like I'm pretty sure we can take it. They will accept, we gain gold, we gain all the land. No problem here. Peace in our time. Okay, and now we're 2 away from getting Holstein. I may not be the best player in the world, but if I do not get Holstein, this is a disaster. Now it does look like we might be able to even get Lüneburg on our side to help us take down Lauenburg. It says we are slightly stronger than them, so this might be a victory. Especially if we choose a humiliate rival casus belli. I think we should probably snowball our victories, no? What's the worst that could happen? Okay, let's unify these 2 armies together and just push straight in. I guess the combat in this regard is not too dissimilar to how I remember it. Additionally, with a 92 mil general who also has the ruthless blockader trait, I think he's probably carrying some of these combats. Hello? Where's the enemy? Okay, Lüneburg's got 3k, as 800 men have arrived in the north. I suppose we should take them down now before they become a problem later. Surely moving into the fog of war. Okay. Hey, wanna come help me with this? Really? Do help? Help? Just any help? Any help at all? A crumb of help. I think I won on my own. War score seems to be ticking up pretty nicely. I am really quite surprised how well this is going. So we seem to have 100 war score after sieging down a small town in the west. Can we separate peace? We can. Oof. Maybe I'm being too greedy, but I kind of want it. And of course we need to take the land we actually came here for. And with that, we've grown even more. Oh, and we probably need a new rival. I suppose we can go after Harry Potter. They won't mind, right? But from taking so much land, it seems like people around me aren't too happy. We seem to have got rid of aggressive expansion and instead we're dealing with antagonism. I think ultimately it's nothing too much to worry about. Hey, and Mecklenburg wants an alliance. Why not? With all this newly taken territory, we actually need to start integrating it, which is another way of coring it. We really only have one guy who seems to be pretty good at doing it, so we'll get him started right away. Having played for only 5 years with some pretty aggressive expansion, it seems we've made it to the age of Renaissance, and truth be told, even though it looks like I'm going very aggressive, and I am, my intention isn't really to stay exclusively being aggressive. Maybe for that reason we should look at doing something else. Why not a diplomatic focus? So as I'm spending time waiting for my next spy network to arrive and take out another one of the rebel Holsteins, I'm just taking a look at some of the features in this game, including the infrastructure and how different locations require food, food prep and food generation, which can also be influenced by the type of RGO in each location. And I can't help but think, wouldn't something like this be great in CK3? I feel like most buildings in CK3 exclusively only create gold or soldiers, levies, but if you were to change it and add in a food mechanic so that each county produced food in a similar way to this, then instead of needing buildings that only made gold, you'd also need to strategize building buildings that made food. We don't need anything as complicated as this game, don't get me wrong, but I am really impressed with how deep even some small aspects can go. I'm sure having zero control is good, right? That's fine. That's good. I'm just thinking, if the location of Plon is a fish RGO, shouldn't I build a fishing village here? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be spending some of my money on building up fishing villages, but it's something, I suppose. According to this, it'll take 25 years before we integrate the Lübeck region. That might be a little longer than I hoped. Sorry, I'm really confused. Why do I own 2 puppets? Hello? Wait, is it the case that by taking the land, I inherit the puppets of others? Is that how this works? Okay, we are expanding much faster than I previously thought then. Wow, look at that. The amount of sailors is just flying in with +0 a month. It is going up though. One day we can build a ship. It seems good that you can quickly raise up your diplo spending just to make sure you can tick over the amount that you need. There we go. And then I can bring it back down again. Okay, that should be good. If anything goes wrong, we can bring in our good friend Lüneburg, but I'm not relying on them. I think we'll be fine. A man with a plan with 92 Marshall is coming out. Oh, that is not an army, my friend. That is a devastation. Perhaps we should make sure to head over to the other ally they have, Buckerberg, just to make sure nothing bad happens. Yeah, we're not letting them get away with anything. Okay, so can we separate piece this guy out for war reparations and gold? Sounds fine. And then we sue the main guy out for his land. And after that, early game expansion. Lübeck is a little bit angry. I kind of did the main goal that I had at the beginning, to form a new country of Holstein. 10 out of 10. We are now known as the country or county of Holstein. Wow. We're so visible on the map. You can see me, right? But in all seriousness, I am pretty happy that we were able to do this. I know I was very much so ignoring the economy, but as an early game goal, it's a pretty good way to start off, learn the game. So if you're approaching and you're looking for something to do, I definitely think picking one of the Holsteins just to see what it's like to grow out your country is pretty good. For those who may be familiar with my channel, building up and creating formable nations has been quite a key theme, especially with Hearts of Iron 4, so I thought it was fun that we could start off by doing exactly that on a very small scale with EU5. But a common theme in a lot of those videos can be that once you've formed a nation, there's nothing else to do. While with Holstein, I feel like because you form it so early into the campaign, it's actually just the first step to achieving other things. And so I thought I'd continue playing and maybe see what exactly Holstein has up its sleeves. Do nations have sleeves? I'm not really sure. One of the first things I'll do if I intend to continue playing is improving relationships with Denmark. I have no desire to move north and really consolidate North Germany, so better to have them as an ally than a threat on our border. The Black Death in Cusack. Maybe we should have stopped playing. I'm sure that's fine. Oh, we've gained a core. Oh, thank goodness. At least some control can start being grown here. It does seem to be growing, but the Black Death doesn't seem to be growing too much. I don't think I'm worried about it just yet. Oh, wait, no, it's arrived in Italy. Ignore me. And then eventually it arrives. I guess we shouldn't be too surprised that the Black Death arrived at our shores. -7 stability. That is quite a lot of depopulation across the board. I suppose this is kind of an equalizer. Oh my goodness, it's getting worse. That really is just nosediving my population right off the edge of a cliff. And what's even more frustrating is that as it comes to an end, it seems to be leaving the Baltic Sea last. I mean, France is basically over it. The bishopric of Verdun has come after our county of Ritzbüttel. Isn't that the... Yeah, it's over here. It's quite small. Okay. What are the allies looking like? It's Bremer and Verdun. And I've got Brunswick and myself. Well, I'm really glad we're choosing to do this after a complete, global crisis. Okay, how bad is the situation? 305, 319. Not impossible to deal with. Additionally, once we've got a decent ally guarding the south, yeah, we might be able to pull this through. Additionally, we need to probably start up our next council session. Maybe we are allowed to build a cathedral. Maybe we can build a cathedral in Kiel. Could be a good use of our money, could be terrible. That seems to be everything pretty sufficiently sieged down. Okay, can we do separate pieces? I really want to see what we can get out of this guy. Wait, oh no, Brunswick actually took... Oh no, they've robbed me of this land. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay, let's be cautious with this treaty, not take too much, and deal with it in a second conflict. Oh wait, no, the AI gave it back to me. I do not remember that in EU4. In EU4, when an ally took land, they were very, very hesitant to give it to you. Okay, seems fine. And as for little Verdun here, I don't really care. Ooh, my antagonism's way too high. We're just gonna be chill. Okay, now I really need to calm down. The Landstag was a success and a cathedral is being built in Kiel. But we didn't have the money for it, so we've taken a loan. Oh no. I might have screwed up. Guys, please, let's chill here. Really, it's no problem. Now I think Bremer and Verdun are almost guaranteed to join a coalition against us, but Hildesheim might be able to be brought out. Maybe? Because Ratzeburg and Ritzelbüttel are actually puppets, I suppose we should start improving opinion with them so that one day we can annex them. I feel like I'm kind of encircling Lübeck here and doing something very similar with Hamburg. I've spent so much time zoomed into my corner of the world, I haven't even looked at anything else. Apparently Bulgaria has decided to just eat the Byzantine Empire, as it does. And the Middle East is looking more divided than, well, ever. I mean, I have no idea what's going on in there. All loans repaid. Okay, maybe building the cathedral wasn't the best use of my resources. And my heir has come of age. Wow. What tier education did he get? 45, 67, 42. Looks to me like he came out as a diplomat. And not one human on Earth wants to marry him. After spending time improving relations with everybody, I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna coalition me. Maybe I was being a little bit too cautious. But we did manage to expand ourselves even more to the east, so I guess chunk by chunk you could work your way along the coast and get strong enough so you can take down the Hansa with its three key cities. I am a little worried about Denmark on my northern border, and frankly the chaos of the HRE is getting a little overwhelming. Oh good lord, what is happening over there? And with that, I think I'm done with a very early foray into Europa Universalis 5. All in all, there is a tremendous amount of content for you to get your teeth into. After playing this now, I'm maybe up to what, 95, heading on 100 hours? And as you can see, I still don't know too much about the game. To be fair, I did spend most of my time playing as England, learning how to beat France on loop over and over, so most of my knowledge comes in the warfare place, but hey, what did you expect? I play Hoi 4. The key thing I was thinking about was, what is the combat like? And it seems to be good in the early stage, though I should play more to find out more about late game. With that though, I'll say thank you very much for watching. If you liked this little exploration, then please feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.